Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Get ready to tickle your mind with these mind-blowing videos. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
They be playing in our faces. To the person watching this right now, go look up drinkable melanin. Drinkable melanin. And then ask yourself, where you think they got that from? Look at the smiles on their faces while they taking it and everything. Just soak it all in. And ask yourself, where you think they got that from? And how do you feel about that?
Nope, this is not a lush garden, but a world-ending biblical sign that we were never supposed to see, and a sign our end times officially has a date. People were terrified after the Garden of Eden was just reported by scientists to be real and found underneath the ice in Antarctica, and this might mark our gruesome end to life, with the Bible warning that those on earth who know about it or try to enter will face the full fiery wrath of God, and he's here. Haunting new x-rays from scientists warn that beneath the ice, they are finding lush greenery, rainforests, mountains, and valleys, to even all types of different animals exactly as it was described, and no one is leaving it alone. And that isn't the first sign, as the Bible also reports that the Garden of Eden had 4 streams of water feeding into the garden, with scientists now confirming that the old map of Earth had the same 4 streams of water connecting to the magnetic center, or the North Pole. But it gets worse, as a warning was put into the scriptures for centuries that anyone who tries to enter or take it, angels with flaming swords will take us all out.
So if the Garden of Eden was discovered by the general public and people trying to enter it got stopped by an angel, there'd be no question about the existence of God.
And many are sure many countries are heading over there now.
This is absolute madness. We finally have footage of what's actually hiding on the Sentinel Islands, and this finally shows us why it's forbidden for humanity to approach them. For decades, the world has been told that the Sentinel Islands are off limits to protect the isolated tribe living there. But found footage has just surfaced that suggests a much darker, more terrifying reason for the secrecy. The footage begins with a view of the dense, untouched jungle, but as the camera zooms in, it captures something that defies every biological law we know. We can see gigantic creatures, beasts that resemble elephants and bulls, but they are hundreds of times larger. They move through the trees like prehistoric titans that time forgot. But here's the part that will make your blood cold. People are now asking if these mutated giants are the real reason why no ancient or modern humans ever dared to go on this land, and if so, how they appeared there. You can see the records yourself by searching Sentinel Island footage. But what do you think is really living there? Tell me your theory in the comments.
This whole AI thing came out because they knew that these things would start coming to this earth. So when we see it, and when people catch footage of it, the first thing they're gonna think is AI. But I checked the comments on that video, and there's something about that video that makes me feel that that frogman creature that they spotted in Cancun, Mexico, is not AI. Go look at the video, guys. Go look it up. Frogman creatures.
I've been saying it for 30 years, and people, when I tell them, their eyes just go dead. The owners of the world are the royals, kings, queens, dukes, duchess, imams, popes, wizards that own every single dime on earth and bank at the Bank of International Settlements. That's the owners of the world.
Trust me, or do all roads and rabbit holes seem to lead back to these 13 bloodlines? We hear this mentioned so many times. It's a no-brainer that there's people that are pulling the strings behind the show, almost. A shadow government, if you want to call it that. But here's the thing. What these guys are really doing is much deeper than making all the money and calling all the shots. And for those who don't see it, you really need to wake up.
Did you know there are people who are simply not allowed to enter the sea? And that's exactly what happened with this woman. No one knows for sure where this took place. Some say it was a beach in the south, others swear it happened in Rio de Janeiro. But one thing is certain, the moment this woman stepped into the ocean, something felt wrong. The waves were violent, far stronger than they should have been. Every time she tried to get out, a new wave crashed into her, dragging her back down, as if the sea itself refused to let her go. She could barely stand. She was moments away from drowning. A group of lifeguards finally noticed her struggling and ran toward the water, but even they hesitated. The moment they approached, the waves grew even more aggressive, almost angry. As if the ocean didn't want her to escape, but also didn't want anyone to rescue her. One lifeguard was even forced to run from a wave that rose out of nowhere, like something alive was pushing it forward. After a huge effort, one of them finally managed to reach her and drag her out of the water. Here's the part that made millions of people freeze. The instant the woman touched the sand, the sea became calm. Perfectly calm, as if nothing had happened. As if the ocean had only been violent for her. Some people say the sea is alive, that it chooses, it remembers, it reacts. After seeing this, I'm not sure they're wrong. Follow me, or we might never see each other again.
So you're sitting here telling me you found a real hell in the ocean?
Look, we were sent down to finish a decades-long operation dismantling a massive rock barrier the agency believed had open space behind it. The problem? The material wasn't on any elemental chart. Nothing we understood. So they built atomically pressurized drilling subs just to cut through it. 40 years of work came down to that final descent. As the barrier thinned, we started hearing sounds from the other side. Not mechanical, not natural, something wrong. The day we were set to breach, I told my lieutenant we shouldn't, that nature clearly meant for this place to stay sealed. He said we were too deep to stop. When we broke through, imagine entering an abyss that had been locked away forever. About a quarter-mile in, we saw them translucent, human-shaped figures drifting in the dark, like people made of fog. Then one moved toward us. Straight through the hull, a woman mid-50s terrified. She whispered, "I'm so sorry." I asked her name trembling. Margaret Elaine Crow. Then she vanished. We fled. As we escaped, countless others poured out behind us.
Your fingerprints are impossible to get rid of. You can burn them, slice them, scrape them with acid, and they will grow back exactly the same every single time. In the 1930s, some gangster named John Dillon paid a surgeon to burn his fingertips with acid because he thought it would let him escape the FBI forever. His hands were useless for days, and the pain was brutal. But when his skin healed, his fingerprints came back identical to how they were before. Another guy went even further and had a doctor cut the skin off his fingertips and replace it with skin from his chest. But the police still caught him because the edges of his original prints were still there. The reason none of this works is because your fingerprints are not actually on your skin. They are underneath it. When you're still in the womb around week 10, your deeper skin layers start folding and buckling under pressure. And by week 17, those folds lock into a pattern that become your permanent fingerprint. That fingerprint sits under the surface like a mold. So whenever your outer skin regrows, it just copies the same design from the mold that was already beneath it.
Sometimes when you wake up, you have a random song stuck in your head.
Oh yeah.
And you know why?
Why?
It's because your brain may have picked up like a frequency from a radio signal from somewhere else. Because you know how like a radio, if you have it beside you, it can hear music and it can play music. Maybe you can't if you're not tuned in on the right frequency. But what if while you sleep, somehow you're able to connect to that frequency and hear things that you couldn't. Now back this, right? Let's take it to a next level.
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
Because I totally forgot about this. But satellites are a thing. And to see things on a TV through a satellite is a thing. Would it be so crazy that eventually there's a satellite that can put images into our head?
Oh, that's kind of bro.
And what if, like right now, everything you see right now is an image that's being played in your head?
Yo.
Because maybe we're just connected to something. An image that's being transmitted to our brains.
Because maybe that's why dogs see all black, because that one satellite messed up or glitched.
Red Room in Thailand is a room where a child is murdered every 3 weeks. They are sacrificed. And the person that pays with the crypto gets to choose how that kid is murdered. And the other person gets to do things to them.
People online still argue that red rooms are just an urban legend. But here's the part that no one wants to talk about. Peter Scully, one of the darkest criminals ever recorded. And every single one of his clients came from the dark web. He didn't advertise it publicly, and he didn't post it on socials. They found him through encrypted spaces, the exact same places people claim that red rooms don't exist. And here's what most people don't know. His videos weren't one-off crimes. They were commissioned. People paid to choose what happened. They paid to watch it live. And that is literally the definition of a red room. Money, and to be anonymous, and real harm. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
You didn't survive 2012. You have been dead for 13 years. There is a terrifying theory that the world actually ended on December 21st, 2012. On that day, scientists at CERN turned on the Large Hadron Collider. The theory claims they pushed it too far and created a black hole that swallowed our Earth instantly. We didn't die. We shifted. Our consciousness was transferred into the nearest parallel universe. But this timeline is broken. Think about it. Has time felt faster since 2012? Does the sun look white now instead of the yellow you remember? Everything feels off because this is a simulation running on backup power. And you are just waiting for the server to crash.
They tell you this is impossible, but this guy is literally running on the ocean floor. They call him the Aquaman of our time, and it looks like he's not entirely human. Meet Davi. He's 35, and his abilities are just insane. He dives 36 meters, 118 feet, with no scuba gear, but that's nothing. He walks on the seabed for over an hour like he's strolling through a park. He even fucking works out down there. He's lifting dumbbells. He's eating breakfast. Underwater. And recently, he swam 125 kilometers in 50 hours. And the kicker? Orcas and sea lions escorted him like he was one of them. They literally accepted him as one of their own. Officially, he's just a free diver. But right now, he's training to dive into the Mariana Trench. So who is this guy really? Just an athlete? Or the result of some secret genetic experiment? Or maybe he's just not from here. They don't want you to question reality. The algorithm might hide this video. Follow us to see the proof they're trying to hide.
This is one of the reasons why governments also don't want people to really know the truth, because they know this is going to dramatically cause an upheaval. By the way, there are, and it's been referenced on major news networks and so forth, government studies that have been conducted over the decades, and they're done routinely, And the study is, what would happen to societies if an alien went on TV and said, "Hi, I'm Zotar from the planet Murtok. Glad to meet you all. And we've been around for a long time. And by the way, Yahweh in the book of the Bible, well, that was my ancestors," and so forth and so on. If people saw a real extraterrestrial and said, "This is my spacecraft, let me show you what it can do." If people saw that, what would happen? And it's not pretty. And this is why they say we're not ready yet to fully reveal. The good news is that it's getting better. These reports are showing that society isn't going to crumble, people aren't going to jump out of buildings, people aren't going to start crying, people aren't going to stop going to church, people aren't going to start rioting in the streets. Oh, I don't have to be moral anymore because there is no God. The big fear years ago when you looked at these reports, and I've read them, because in our group we had to know this as well. The idea was people are going to say there is no God. That means there's no sin. That means there's no punishment. I can do anything. The only punishment is what I get on earth. But I'm not going to hell. And you could have some mass chaos. Now, certainly we have punishment here, so that'll still keep things in bay. But there's a lot of issues as to why Zotar is not coming on and saying, "Hi, let me show you my star map, and here's my craft." Because when that happens, all the governments around the world have to know, based on the studies and the reports, that we're not going to have a mass calamity.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Disclaimer: these videos are only for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion